Hello, I have a story to share with you today. It's called The Dinosaur's New Clothes by Diane Yu. Once upon a time, there lived an emperor who was so fond of new clothes that he spent all his money on them. He had a different coat for every hour of the day, and whenever he was needed, he could always be found in his dressing room. One day, two swindlers came to the great city where the emperor lived. Now, swindlers are trying to get your money and not give you what you deserve. Knowing the emperor's fondness for clothes, they pretended to be weavers, and they said they could make the finest cloth ever seen. Not only was it beautiful, but it was magical. The clothing made from this cloth was invisible to anyone who was either hopeless, stupid, or else unfit for his job. What splendid clothes, thought the emperor. If I wear them, I can find out who is wise and who should be fired from his job. Yes, I must have the cloth woven for me. So he paid the swindlers a large sum of money to begin their work at once. The swindlers set up a loom, but they used no thread on their shuttles. They pretended to work at their empty loom far into the night. After a few days, the emperor was eager to know how the clothing was coming. I shall send my faithful old minister. He's very smart, and no one is better at his job. Therefore, he will be the best judge of the cloth. So the faithful old minister went to the hall where the swindlers sat working at the empty loom. What's he going to see? Nothing. The old minister looked closely at the loom. Heaven help me, he thought. Why, I can't see any cloth at all. He stepped closer. Can I be stupid? Am I unfit for my job? If the emperor finds out, he will surely fire me. Oh, it is beautiful, the old minister said. Charming. I shall tell the emperor all about it. And the old minister listened carefully as the swindlers described the colors and patterns so he could repeat them to the emperor. And he did. Soon the emperor sent a second faithful minister to see when the new clothes would be ready. What do you think is going to happen to the second one? The second minister looked, and he could see no cloth on the loom. Isn't it splendid? Asked the swindlers. Now I know I am not stupid, thought the minister, so it must be that I am unfit for my job. I must not let anyone find out. So he praised the cloth that he did not see. Yes, he told the emperor, it is absolutely delightful. Soon, everyone in town was talking about the splendid new cloth. At last, the emperor, accompanied by the two faithful ministers as his courtiers, went to visit the swindlers. Isn't it beautiful, your majesty? Asked the ministers, pointing to the empty loom, for they thought all the others could see the cloth. What's this? Thought the emperor. I see nothing at all. Am I stupid? Am I unfit to be emperor? Why, this is terrible. So he pretended to see the cloth and said, Oh, this is very fine. It has my highest approval. Yes, it is very fine, delightful, superb, exclaimed all the courtiers, although they saw nothing at all. And they told the emperor that he should wear a suit of clothes made from this wonderful cloth at the next great procession. The night before the procession, the swindlers worked all night. They wanted everyone to see how anxious they were to finish the emperor's new clothes. They pretended to take the cloth down from the loom. They cut the air with enormous scissors. They sewed with threadless needles. And at last they proclaimed, The emperor's new clothes are ready. When it was time for the emperor to dress, the swindlers held up their empty arms. See, your majesty, they exclaimed. Your beautiful new clothes are as light as cobwebs. Then the swindlers pretended to give him trousers, a coat, and robes. And they pretended to tie on the train. The emperor turned round and round in front of the mirror as if he were admiring his new suit. How well his majesty looks! What a fit! They're the most splendid clothes, everyone declared. The chamberlains, who were supposed to carry the emperor's train, stooped and pretended to lift it. Then they walked along with their empty hands in the air. Everybody's playing along. And so the emperor marched in his procession, and all who saw him cried out, "Look at the emperor's beautiful new clothes! What a magnificent train! What a cloak!" They all pretended to see the garments that were not there, for they did not dare to appear stupid. None of the emperor's clothes have ever been so successful. He didn't even have any clothes on. Then suddenly a small child cried out, "But the emperor has nothing on!" Those who heard the child began to whisper, and soon the whisper spread throughout the crowd. "He has nothing on. An innocent child says the emperor has nothing on." "The emperor isn't wearing any clothes," everyone cried at last. And the emperor stiffened, for he knew it was true. Nonetheless, he thought, the procession must go on. And so he continued to walk, holding himself more proudly than ever, while the chamberlains held up a train made of cloth that had never been there at all. The end. Here's a picture of the kingdom. All right, I hope you enjoyed the dinosaur's new clothes.